What's up, YouTube family? Lou here with another Guy Like Collectibles video. Today I wanted to show my 80s lineup, like my favorite players from the 80s, one in every position. And this is me growing up watching the game, thinking about who my favorite players was, and so I decided to put together like a little lineup, kind of like the way I did with the Puerto Rican players before, but this time with any player from that era, from the 1980s. So if you see somebody in there that you don't agree with or whatever, just please remember that it's not an all-time list. It is a 80s list, just from the 1980s, who I personally were my favorite. You know what I mean? Who I think were the best in that era and were my favorite. We can agree to disagree. You may have your favorites, but these were my guys. When I was growing up, these were the guys I was collecting. These are the guys that I watched and that I loved. So without further ado, I picked two starting pitchers. I didn't pick a reliever and I didn't pick a closer. I just decided to pick two starting pitchers. And the two pitchers I went with is Doc Gooden, Dwight. Back then he had like the little soul glow action going with his Jerry curl. Let your soul glow. But Dwight Gooden, who was a beast in the mid-80s. Unfortunately, he fell into his drug use and kind of started to tail off. And then he came back later on in his career. And then we got Roger Clemens. He's my other ace. Out of the two, I would probably pick Roger, only because of what happened with Dwight. But Clemens was a beast. And I know a lot of people, they hating on him because of the whole steroid thing, but get over it. All right? He was still the man. 7 Cy Youngs. I don't want to hear it. My catcher, I decided to go with Gary Carter. One of my favorites was actually Benito Santiago, but he came in as a rookie in '87, so it was kind of near the end of the decade. So I decided to go with Gary Carter, who played a little bit more, won a World Series with the Mets in '86. He was a leader. He was a hard-nosed type catcher. I really enjoyed him. Carlton Fisk is up there, honorable mention, but I really like Gary Carter. At first base, can you guess who I chose? I'll give you a second to think who I chose as my first baseman. If you watch my channel, you know who's my man at first. Donnie Baseball. Donnie Baseball. This is one of my favorite cards of Don Mattingly, 85 Fleer. And one of my new favorites that I got from my man Hitman 23, my man Mike. This is a cool card. I showed this before when I received it from him. It's a numbered card, but this Epic's Don Mattingly is fire. So I had to show it. At second base, no, it's not Robbie Alomar. He started too late in the 80s. But Rhino, my man Ryan Sandberg, I think he was phenomenal. Great glove, great bat, could hit for power. He was a great second baseman. So I got Ryan Sandberg as my second baseman in the 80s. My shortstop, I went with Cal Ripken Jr. Here's his 82 Donruss rookie card. I really like this one over the tops. The tops that he has, the three guys on there, 3 rookies. I like this one better. I know he does have the 82 tops traded, but that sucker's expensive, bro. I don't know if I'll ever get it. Maybe I will in the future, but not right now. I got other priorities that I'd rather have. But I decided to pick this one up. There's a nice rookie card. But Cal Ripken was the man at shortstop. Robin Yount was doing his thing too. but I like Cal better. Like I said, these are my favorites. And then I decided to go for third base. This one was tough, in the sense that there was a couple of good third basemen in the 80s. You know, you had George Brett, Wade Boggs, but I decided to go with Mike Schmidt. And this is a 1979 Topps. But something about Schmidt, man, you know, I was looking at his numbers, and my man in the 80s, I think he hit over 40 home runs 3 years in the 80s. And the rest, he was just hitting over 30 home runs a year. He was just a beast. And not to mention, he got 10 gold gloves. So the man was official at third, man. He was the man. Then my outfield. All right, so my right field, this is where I got tripped up at. And only because growing up as a Yankee fan, my kind of like my loyalty was going towards Dave Winfield, right? And I love Dave Winfield. He's the man. But I also couldn't leave this man out, Tony Gwynn. Tony Gwynn, man, he was just a hitting machine. So I decided to have them both. So let's just say I didn't pick a DH for this lineup, so he'll be my DH. And I'll have Tony, or vice versa. It don't matter. Either or. I know Winfield probably had the stronger arm. But one would just be my DH. And, you know, just in case Winfield was the all-time leader in thrown bats. Every time he let go of that bat, it went flying. My center field for the 80s, I'll have to go with Kirby Puckett. Puckett was great. Good hitter. You know what I mean? He was a real good talent, man. So I like Kirby at center. Now for left field, I think this is a no-brainer. I think this should be everybody's left fielder for the 80s. And if he's not, then I don't know what you're thinking. But my man, Pretty Ricky, man. Ricky Henderson at left field. He was a beast. And I love this card, man. This 81 Fleer, bro. It's like it is in such great shape. Can't believe it, man. I got this card with it was like a little not a binder, but a little book that I bought for $2, and it had a bunch of 90 Fleer cards in it. It was like only like 20 cards in the little binder. It was one of them little 4-page, like 4 slots per page binder, and a bunch all Pirates. But then in the last page was 2 of these Ricky Hendersons and a 1982 Topps Nolan Ryan. And I was like, whoa. And this one was mint. So, you know, I had to put this in here. Beautiful card. But Ricky Henderson, man, that's my leadoff hitter right there. So those are my 80s. My 80s lineup. Who would you have put? Comment down below. Let me know if you would have somebody else in any of those positions, who your pitchers are, who your catcher is, you know, who your outfielders are. You think I'm bugging? Whatever. Comment down below. Take care. God bless. Be safe. Peace.